Hey, let me just say real quick, I'm gonna put these macaroons. These are fresh coconut macaroons.
Y'all best suck them down.
There's not been enough eaten.
What up, big motherfucking Plattsburgh? It's a spiritual pleasure to be here tonight, y'all. I'm gonna open this mystic session with a song about a haunted backwoods town in East Tennessee. So, you know, settle into your mystic seats and let's get this motherfucker flowing. Yeah. In my whip, had myself a psychedelic trip. Ain't no place like Sneedville, Tennessee. I did some Yeti powder, popped a couple of pills. Sneedville's full of them holy thrills. Spiritual River, won't you help me ease my mind? Oh, still river flow. Sneedville blues can't take my soul away. Towns as corrupt as can be. I had a guy named Cricket, he was Cricket OG, born and raised in Sneedville, Tennessee. He said you can't trust nobody up in that place. Everybody's packing in them trees is laced with that mystical powdered PCP. Oh, still river flow, Sneedville blues can't touch my soul, no. Holy mountain wind, yeah, you're my best friend. You set me free and easy. In the back of a truck in the middle of the night, in a deep dark underneath the pale moonlight, laying back listening to a country song. Had a gasoline fire, a boy fell in, covered in plastic, got that only second skin. Sneedville, you know, you're off the chain. Oh, still river flow, Sneedville blues can't take my soul away. Holy mountain breeze, you set my soul at ease and you set me free from the city. But them Sneedville blues, they can't get me. Them Sneedville blues, they can't get me. Them Sneedville blues, they can't get me. Oh, them Sneedville blues, they can't get me. No.
Present.
It's a pleasure to be up in Holy Plattsburgh tonight, guys. Now, you know, before I came on this mystical tour, I was on a 300-mile hike.
Volume.
More feedback.
More heat.
Yeah, I was on a 300-mile hike, a mystic 300-mile hike right before I came on this holy tour. As I tune my guitar, I'll tell you about a couple of the shrimps that I met out there. So, you know, we was in a 2-level shelter. 2-level shelter out on a Mystic Lake. Packed to the gills with motherfuckers. We was chugging, we was puffing, we was sucking them down. We was going wild, we was skinny dipping, we was gangsterizing. We all passed out, mostly on the bottom level of this 2-level shelter. Because the top level was 17 plus feet up in the air. Like some kind of haunted ass bunk bed that you don't want to fall off of. Something out of somebody's nightmares that enjoys the top level of a bunk bed. And so we're chilling. We all went to sleep, laid out. About 4 a.m. we all wake up to a loud smack. We knew some sorry sucker had fallen off the top level. We all threw on our headlamps looking for the carcass. Or hopefully a non-carcass, hopefully a living being, not with his neck cracked or nothing, off that 19-foot drop. Everybody's got their headlamps surveying the scene, trying to see who fell off the motherfucker. We couldn't see nothing. Nobody was there. We're all like, dude, looking at each other. What the fuck? We all know somebody fell off the John. And our lights coalesce in the corner upon a shriveled figure. It appears to be an 80 to 90-year-old grandpa, curled up in a mangled form, mostly naked, rocking a satin blue thong. I said, what the fuck is that? My homegirl next to me, she goes, it looks like a 90-year-old dude mangled up in a satin blue thong. I said, what the fuck? You okay? He goes, I said, what the fuck? You okay, dude? I said, whoa. That's a fucked up motherfucker. Mangled up, 90-year-old in a satin blue thong in the corner of this haunted shelter. I said, dude, can you walk? Motherfucker slowly unmangles himself like something out of the most strangest science fiction horror movie you ever seen in your life. Stands up. Somebody gave him a cigarette lighter in his hand. He lights it up and he's staring off into the distance. Mangled, old, sagged out motherfucking 90-year-old shrimpanati ass cheeks dangling like a motherfucker. Shriveled old man's dong hanging out the side of a haunted satin blue thong. As much as we could tell, he had been tugging, looking at us while we were sleeping, and his motherfucking dumbass fell off the top bunk. I'm staring at that mangled dong hanging out the side, and I said, that's a nightmarish sight. Going back to sleep, I had beautiful dreams. When I woke up in the morning, I hightailed it the fuck out of that place. Next thing you know, I meet a guy named Earbuds. Everybody's got trail names out in the John. When I'm out there, I'm Manimal. I met Earbuds. I met an obese Nick Nolte lookalike whose name was Nick Nolte. I met a dude named Shitfoot. That motherfucker's feet smelled like rotted ass shit. Comes nighttime, this dude named Earbuds rolls up into the shelter. Half the people are asleep. My man pulls out a 2-pound summer sausage. Talking one of these footballs of meat about yay big. Wide as a mug, about yay big. My man, Earbuds, proceeds to deep throat that summer sausage in less than 1 minute. One of my shrimps was on a stopwatch. Dong dong. And motherfucker goes, I said, whoa! And the entire time this dumbass is deep throating a 2-pound summer sausage. He is lecturing on how you're not supposed to eat much food out on the trail. You're not supposed to eat much food out on the trail. I said, damn! Deep throated a 2-pound summer sausage in less than a minute while lecturing on how you're not supposed to eat much food out on the trail. I said, your motherfucking name ain't earbuds, it's summer sausage. And then everybody voted on it and his name became 2 pounds 1 minute. So when that dude rolls up at a hostel or a shelter or something, they're like, yo, 2 pounds 1 minute, what up, fucker? And he's just like, oh, man. But that's his name, because he deep-throated that motherfucking sausage. I never seen nobody do it like that. It was naughty as fuck. Next thing you know, I'm chilling with 5 different people. 5 different people at a strange campsite. Everybody hung their food from the mystic bear hang limb. Everybody hung their food so the bears couldn't get the food that night. There was 5 people. There was 5 food bags hanging from the mystic bear hang limb. These bears at this one specific campsite got real smart about a year ago, and they learned how to get on each other's shoulders and snatch the damn food bags out the tree. So all these food bags got pulled down by the bears that night. There was 5 people. There was 5 bags of food. Most of the shit was eaten. And one of the bags was a half gallon of prescribed extra zinc suntan lotion. The bear sucked that down like a hot Genesee cream ale. But one of the people in the group was vegan.
Hey,
One of
I'm
the
shooting here.
no busting caps in the building.
Yeah.
One of the people in the group was vegan. The bears didn't go near that bag of food. These bears sucked down a half gallon of extra zinc prescribed suntan lotion. But those motherfuckers wouldn't go near no vegan food. Put that goddamn gun away. Put that shit down. Seriously. Shut the fuck up. Sit down. The bears sucked down suntan lotion, but they wouldn't touch no vegan food. But that ain't spiritual. Man, I don't know what is. Next thing you know, I'm chilling backwoods with some wild shrimps in a psychedelic ass place called Flag Pond, Tennessee. And this song right here is called the Flag Pond Road Blues. Thanks to Holy Kristen, Holy Big Mac for lacing us up in this motherfucker. Thanks to Sam. Thanks to Big Hunter. It's an instrumental tune that I wrote the other day. Spiritual pleasure, y'all. So, you know, I was hiking on the Appalachian Trail, you know, about a year ago. And I found myself in New Hampshire. Not that far from where we are, per se. But worlds away. Deep in the White Mountains. I found myself in a mystical bathroom. I was in a bathroom and there was 2 stalls up in the men's bathroom on a mountaintop in New Hampshire. I was sitting in one of them stalls and I was doing my mystical business upon that mystical throne, if you know what I'm saying. And I'm sitting there upon that throne and the other stall was open. It was a 2-stall men's bathroom. No urinals or nothing, just 2 motherfucking stalls. I'm sitting upon that mystic throne. And some dude comes in and he goes, Little Zachy? Little Zachy? Little Zachy? Little Zachy? Thinking to myself, I'm the only motherfucker in this bathroom. Ain't no little Zachy up in this bitch. Little Zachy, little Zachy, I know you ate a lot at dinner, but did you have to go again? I'm sitting there thinking to myself, is this dude talking to me? He must be, because there ain't nobody else up in this motherfucker. Little Zachy, I know you had a lot to eat at dinner, but did you have to go again? Little Zachy? Now I'm still not saying nothing. I'm just like kind of riding this mystical wave. Little Zachy, I know it's you in there. I can see you wearing your beige Crocs. It's the same damn pair of mystical beige Crocs that I'm wearing today. The actual ones. Little Zachy, did you have to go again? I know it's you in those beige Crocs in there. At this point, motherfucker puts his head underneath the stall. Looks up and sees me. I said, motherfucker, it ain't little Zachy. That dude ran the fuck off real quick. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. He went running away. I never seen that motherfucker again. The song's about hiking, y'all. Way out on a hill, you're moving still, psychedelic. You're waiting on a friend, and once again, you'll be golden. You're laid out on the floor. You're doing more. You're moving sideways on a journey. Keep it holy. You're setting sail, you're moving forward. I wonder what's around the hill. Just wait until you're cruising over. A dusting off that old rug, big tater bug, you hold it on. So this next song right here is about my man Extra Cornbread Steve.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. to the big cornbread. Now me and my man Extra Cornbread Steve used to chill back in the day in a mystical place where he used to live in West Georgia called Palookaville, Georgia. Way out on the west side. But you know, when I lived in that mystical zone, I was mostly living at a place pretty close to a backwoods country-ass ripoff of a Cracker Barrel called Vittles. Now when you roll up in this mystic diner of sorts, you would be greeted with a big old cloud of smoke. And it was cigarette smoke, but also unholy pipes were being puffed up in that joint. I'm talking them meth chalets and them crack johns. And you'd roll in and there'd be crack smoke clouds and mystical cigarettes and all kinds of other stuff. You couldn't see where you were going and you just hear people screaming and hollering. Ah! Ah! Out of the smoke. You knew you was in the right spot. One time I brought a psychedelic Italian noise rock band to eat at Vittles the morning after the concert at my crib. One of the Italians was a white Rasta. He was attempting to order from the menu. He said, well, the waitress came up. What do you have? He said, a pancakes with fruit. She said, what the fuck? White Rasta Italian psychedelic shrimp said, the pancakes with fruit. She said, what the fuck? The pancakes with fruit. She said, what the fuck is he trying to say? I said, that motherfucker's trying to say pancakes with fruit. She said, why didn't he say it the first time? I said, I got no fucking clue. She said, strawberries and cherries. She brought grapes out on this motherfucker's pancakes. It's a twisted place, Vittles. I rolled in there with my boy Extra Cornbread Steve for the first time that he had ever been there. His name wasn't Extra Cornbread Steve yet. He got his name at this place. We rolled in. We sat down. I ordered a Mystic breakfast plate that was off the chain. Shriveled psychedelic, also shriveled and enormous at the same time, painted sausages, mystical eggs, and all kinds of other shit. He ordered the 3-vegetable plate, which you do not do up in this restaurant. You do not order the 3-vegetable plate. The green beans have seen better days. The hash browns, you don't want to fuck with them. The fried green tomatoes are black. The Brussels sprouts are some neon painted color that if you saw it, it might burn your eyelids off. You do not get a 3-vegetable plate up in Vittles. But he ordered it anyways. And on top of that, he asked for extra cornbread. He said, extra cornbread, please. And the waitress, staring at him, said, extra cornbread! This broad went in the back. She pulled out an enormous plate resting upon a moving cart of so much motherfucking cornbread that if everybody up in this goddamn room puffed a pound to the dome, couldn't even begin to touch them motherfucking psychedelic steaming piles of cornbread, which was so high they was scraping the cobwebs off the motherfucking ceiling of this crazy haunted joint. My boy, out of these 50,000 possible pieces of cornbread, he probably ate about a quarter of one piece. And that's how we got the name, Extra Cornbread Steve. He lived out on a mystical place called Palookaville, Georgia, that was built on pure quartz crystal ground. That's why this song right here I'm about to rock, it's called the Quartz Blues. Sitting there on a pile of quartz by the riverside, thinking about those beautiful round eyes. Sitting there looking at the setting sun, wondering where you'll bide your time. Oh, you're so far away, deep in those Blue Ridge Hills. Oh, you're so far away, deep in those Blue Ridge Hills. Don't cry, my love, my love. It's only a moment. Don't cry, my love, my love. It's only a moment. Believe in that Holy Great Spirit flowing through it. Oh, that water flows in a strange design, so does your life. Oh, that water, it will flow all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. One day we will be in that winter sun, wandering beneath those ancient pines. But until then I will ride that old river, yeah, and I'll be staying high. Don't cry, my love, my love. It's only a moment. Don't cry, my love, my love. It's only a moment. Believe in that Holy Great Spirit flowing through it. Oh, yeah. It's a spiritual pleasure, y'all. I got one last tune now. So this next one's about all kinds of things, if you know what I mean. But it's a lot about a show that I played, I guess about two weeks probably after the last time I was here in Holy Plattsburgh. I played a show in Tucson, Arizona. And I asked my buddy, I said, where's the show going down in Tucson? He said, man, it's going down at this crib. And I said, hell yeah. Now I got to the crib, the day of the show, that he said it was going down. And let me tell y'all, it was abandoned. There wasn't a soul in sight. And I said, dude, the house be condemned up in this bitch. He said, yeah, I'm sorry, man. I forgot about that. I said, fuck. I said, where's the show? He said, let's move it to another crib. I said, hell yeah. I roll up to that crib, and they said, we ain't doing no show tonight. I said, whoa. Hit up my boy. I said, where the fuck the show going down? He said, let's just do it under the I-10 overpass. I said, hell yeah. I said, should I drive down and meet you where the show's going down? He said to me, he said, dude, if you were to drive in your car down to where the show's going down tonight, 2 words, guaranteed carjacking. Not it's a rough area, not it's psychedelic. Guaranteed carjacking. Pulled out the whip while it's moving. And you will be possibly blasted. And the shrimps will roll out with the whip. Said to my boy, I said, well, I guess I'm riding with you. Trying to chug anyways. He said, hop in the haunted SUV. Got right in. It's me and my boy and 2 younger shrimpanauties. We're cruising. We're cruising way down through Tucson, Arizona, through the city. Well, all of a sudden, we're past the city. And we still cruising way out into the desert, way south of town. Cruising. Until literally, I can tell we're about to stop soon because the road's about to end. And I see one psychedelic building in the distance and the overpass in the distance. And I said, what's that psychedelic building over there? He said, that's the Hells Angels clubhouse. I said, word. He said, we're parking there. I said, are they cool with that? He said, I got no idea. I said, whoa. So we pull up next to this demonic barn with the demonic red light flashing. It supposedly is the Hells Angels clubhouse. And that's the only building within eyesight. And there's this interstate in the distance. And I said, dude, it's desolate as fuck out in here. Is anyone coming to this gig? He said, I got an idea. You go out and hang underneath that bridge for a while. I'm going to go to a hipster coffee shop. I'm going to pick up multiple carloads of people from this hipster coffee shop. I'm going to bring them back under this bridge for the show. I said, man, that sounds like a strange idea, but am I going to be cool just hanging under this bridge? You said guaranteed carjacking. All I see is the Hells Angels clubhouse. He said, well, these 2 young guys are coming with you. He looks at him, he said, y'all boys brought the hand cannons? Both of them pull out huge pistols. Hand cannons. I said, man, this gig is going to be possibly the most lit of all time. So we go underneath the bridge, hand cannons in tow. Me and 2 shrimps with enormous motherfucking revolvers, chilling underneath a haunted bridge in the middle of the desert. Tucson, Arizona, way south of town. Spraying up mystical tags and just wiling out. Next thing you know, 35 people appear from the hipster coffee shop. My boy actually came through with about 6 round trips from the hipster coffee shop in the haunted SUV. He brought them down. And they were ready for the gig somehow. I don't know. Who kind of blew my mind when they all cruised in. And the show was off the chain. I was the only person performing. I rocked a 2-hour set sitting up on a broken shopping cart. You could have heard a motherfucking pin drop up in that bitch if it wasn't for the 18-wheelers blasting above every 5.5 seconds. You know what I'm saying? At one point, some dude showed up straight out of the desert. Nobody knew who he was. And he just started screaming at us. After party! After party! After party in my place, you motherfuckers! Well, I said, at least we know what we doing after the show, guys. His place. We all cruised to his spot. Turned out to be a haunted desert shack made out of cinder blocks. Bathroom door ripped straight off the hinges. Desecrated tortillas up in the frying pan. Big ass bugs I didn't know exist until this point. There was definitely somebody tied up in the back room. We didn't see them, but we all knew they was there. 2 psychedelic couches, 1 Bluetooth speaker. The party was jumping. I'm about 35 beers deep at this point. Dude comes up to me, he goes, "You do yayo!" I said, "Hell yeah." "Yeti powder? Holla at your boy." He said, "Let's get some." I said, "Hell yeah." He said, "Let's take your boy's SUV." I said, "Hell yeah." He said, "I work for the Mexican cartel. We cruise into the cartel's trailer park. Pure Yeti powder." I said, "Motherfucker, I'm 37 beers deep at this point. Pure Yeti powder in the Mexican cartel's trailer park sounds like an incredible idea." So we cruise in my boy's painted SUV down to the Mexican cartel's trailer park way in the desert, about an hour south of Tucson, Arizona. We roll up in. I can't tell y'all what went down in there because that's classified information. But all I can say is that there was pure Yeti powder involved. We made it out alive out of that joint. For some reason, this fucking guy is still with us. And we cruising in my boy's hated SUV down the back desert highway. Going about 35 miles an hour. And my bad boy that's fucking clips his seatbelt, pops the door, barrel rolls out of the moving whip, runs out, peace, barrel rolls out into the desert, goes running. And I look at my boy who's driving and I said, "Man, let's get the fuck out of here." Cruise back to his place, which, it turns out to be another haunted desert shack. We roll up inside, my boy goes, "Now it's time for the real Yeti." I said, "The real Yeti? Motherfucker, I've sipped 45 beers tonight. I did pure Yeti powder with the Mexican cartel, the haunted trailer park. What could possibly top that shit? What is the real Yeti?" And he goes, "Crystal meth, motherfucker." I said, "Oh, hell no, dude." Motherfuckers came out the woodwork. There was light bulbs a-blasting. There was people pissing and shitting in Home Depot buckets in the corner of the spot. I woke up in the morning on top of strange air mattress with the big old tarantula sitting up on my chest. Let me tell you, I never got out of bed as quick as I did that morning. I never hopped in my car as quick as I did that morning. I never cruised out of a town as quick as I did that morning. But I must say to y'all, it was one of the best motherfucking shows I ever played in my life. In Tucson, Arizona. So this last song's about love you motherfucking Plattsburgh. I met a man on the road, he had a hurting soul. He went to the city trying to reach a goal, but he lost all his money, almost lost his life. He shook my hand, disappeared into the night. Yodelay, yodelay. I met a girl up on that mountain, she sang me a song. We sat on those cliffs in the full moon all night long. Our souls were flying round in the sky. We was chiefing on that good weed and getting really high. Yodelay, yodelay. realized I got records and tapes like a motherfucker holler at me. I met a man out in that field, oh, his heart was true. His eyes would peer straight into you. His spirit was burning with a heavenly light, and the peace he held within himself was as still as that night. Yodeling, yodeling, rambling soul. When you're out on that road, you got that rambling soul. Remember those faces and those places that you've known. Keep your eyes open, keep moving toward the sun. 'Cause you know, my friend, your journey's never done. Yodeling, yodeling, rambling soul. Yodeling, yodeling, rambling soul. Rambling soul. Thank you, big motherfucking Plattsburgh, baby.